Hello to all of you. Greetings to all. We are today. So let's kickstart our session with this great quotation. Your personal brand is a reflection of your values, passion, and expertise. By authentically, you create opportunities for growth that are not just about what you do, but who you are. A very good morning to all the guests and dignitaries. As your host for the worldwide webinar on leveraging personal branding for continued growth. Hi Shubhankar Jo, the host would like to take this opportunity to accept each and every one of you. It gives me great pleasure to extend a warm hello to each and every one of you gathered here today. It is used on this caliber here, whose involvement on the topic of leveraging personal branding for continuous growth adds so much value to it. Few lines regarding the topic of the event. Leveraging personal branding for continued growth involves consciously shaping how others perceive you through your values, expertise, and consistently communicating your unique qualities. You can build trust and establish a strong presence in your field. A well-developed personal brand opens doors to new opportunities, whether it's for or leadership growth. It allows you to differentiate yourself in a crowded marketplace, ensuring you remain relevant as you evolve professionally. Before I let me take a brief moment for the introduction of my organization, SEMS Welfare Foundation, a registered non-profit organization is dedicated to social impact across various sectors, particularly skill development and entrepreneurship. Through our initiative, DigiSection, we have created training programs in IT, finance, retail, and entrepreneurship. In fact, we are currently upskilling inmates in Haryana jails and collaborating with universities and colleges. We have also partnered with banks to place over 1,500 candidates in jobs. FAMLabs, another SEMS initiative, empowers women through workshops and stories of successful female entrepreneurs. We conduct programs on digital literacy, marketing, and career development, reaching over 1,000 women across multiple states. The initiative recently reached a milestone of 100 women actually involved. In just short time, SAMS has established itself as a force for positive change, equipping individuals with skills for employment and promoting women's leadership in various industries. Now, let me take this wonderful occasion to publicly present and welcome Sri Nitin George, the keynote speaker for today's international webinar. Few lines about the speaker. He is an author and poet and passionate content marketing professional with a 12 plus years of experience across domains. Over the past 6 years, he has worked in MarTech domain, helping brands like Morenga's, Insiders, Insider optimize their content marketing efforts and improve brand visibility and strategic positioning through customer advocacy and P2P reviews. For marketing aside, he is always exploring new and emerging channels that brands and individuals can leverage to promote their presence and establish to leadership. There are many gems and diamonds in this world, and one of them is here today to help us build the event. With this note, Ashif Bankaj, on behalf of Shan Welfare Foundation, would like to give my heartiest welcome to Nitin George sir with a huge round of applause for joining us today. Your presence has added to the significance of this event, and we are genuinely honored to have you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Shubhankar, for that lovely introduction. And since you said you're looking forward to a very informative session, now I have to live up to the expectation, right? So,
Yes, sir.
good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys, wherever you're joining in from. Since you're here on a Saturday morning, it means that you did not have a wild party on Friday and there's no hangover. So thank you all for being here, and more importantly, thank you for investing the time in learning about your personal brand and in building your personal brand. I have to
Yes, sir.
apologize for my voice because I've been under the weather for the past few days. So if you find me in between just blowing my nose or my voice crackles, apologies in advance. But I will try and keep it as entertaining and exciting as possible. All right, so just a quick round of intro from your side. I'd like to know where you guys are joining in from. Secondly, what is it that you're doing? Are you a student? Are you a working professional? Are you an entrepreneur? Or whatever it is that you do, and your age range, if possible, like 18 to 21, 22 to 25, late 20s, 30s, 40s. This is so that I know you guys better. I can understand the audience here better, and it'll also help me deliver my presentation and customize it in a way that adds value to you, right? So yeah, just let me know in the chat box where you guys are from, what you guys are doing, and or you can unmute and introduce yourselves too. That works. No one? Come on, guys. You have to be a little bit more interactive and engaging. Personal branding is all about engaging with others. Even though it says personal, it's not really personal. Your personal brand is not personal at all. So let's get rid of that myth. Okay, Azhar, working
Hello, sir.
professional.
I'm Shubhankar, the today's host. I am from India, Goa. I am currently a student pursuing final year BCom honors,
Oh, nice
and
to know
I
that.
am 22 years, sir. 22 years of age.
Awesome. And did you say you're in Goa?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, amazing. Okay.
I born and brought up here.
Oh, that is lovely. Perpetual vacation for you then. Amazing. All right.
Yeah.
Anand from UP, student 21 or 25. Okay, awesome. I see around 40 plus people in the group, leaving out me and Shubhanga. That still makes, 39 people. Oh, okay. Sunitha, PhD research scholar, Dr. Sunitha from HP. Amazing. Monica, Tamil Nadu, welcome. Okay. Department of Space, Government of India. Amazing. All right. Okay, cool. So let's get started then. I'm actually excited for this session, and I hope you guys are too. And if not, at least by the end of the session, let's get that excitement up a bit, right? So a quick introduction about myself. As Shubhanga would have already said, I'm Nitin George. I call myself the marketing and branding guy. Over the past 5 years, I've worked with over 100 VPs, directors, and C-suite executives of organizations in helping them build their personal brand and position their brand for greater leverage and greater accessibility. I've also worked with some of the top marketing technology firms like Insider and MoEngage, and I've been part of the co-marketing team that has been building the brand legacy for these companies. On the side, I am the founder of TWM Academy. It's a small venture where I mentor and provide coaching and leadership trainings to students and young professionals who've just started working, helping them navigate the corporate professional life and grow in their personal and professional lives, right? So, in short, that's me. I'm a marketing and branding professional, and I hope that today we look at ways in how you can excel your personal brand, right? So what do we have on the plate today? Well, this is what I've prepared for you. We'll have a little bit of introduction and background to what personal branding is all about. We'll look at where you can start today. We'll look at how you can craft an impactful brand statement, and lastly, we'll wrap it up with a summary of all the actionable steps that you can start taking right away in order to build your personal brand. Now, the age old saying goes, brand yourself or be branded. But what does this mean? Right? In simple words, this means that if you don't actively take control of the narrative of your personal brand, then somebody else will do it for you. And the result that they create may not be something that you like. For example, if you're good at coding, or if you're good at project management, or if you're good at public speaking, you need to put that image of yourself out there. Or else someone else will come and say, oh, that person's not really proficient. And because you're not actively doing it, the other person's narrative of you may be wrong. Or they might say, if you're a good public speaker, they might say, oh, this person's a great coder when you're not. And you might get projects that require you to code computer programs and you have no idea what to do. So always make sure that you take control of the narrative of your personal brand. Otherwise somebody will do it for you, right? So let me ask you a question, guys. Do you guys think that you have a personal brand? Yes or no? Like, tell me in the chat, right? I want to know what you guys think. I want to know where you stand right now. Do you have a personal brand? Yes, no, maybe, not sure. What is it? Maybe. Okay. Not sure. All right, guys. I'm sorry to tell this to you, but this is going to be an engaging session. It's going to be interactive. It's not going to be the boring type where I talk for like 45 minutes. Right? It's going to be engaging, and you have to participate. Not yet. Not yet. Okay. I think no. All right. Anyone else? We have like 30, 40 more people to respond. Shivamkar, I'm going to call on you as well because you're the only person who responded here. Not as of now. All right. Yeah. What about all the others? What about you? I'm going to call your names out now. Not really. Okay. All right. Okay. So I think I get a sense of what you guys are saying, right? It's the majority of the voice is no, maybe leaning towards no, maybe. Anyone thinks yes? Do you have a personal brand? Anybody who thinks that they have a personal brand? No, no one, none, not one of the 42 participants here think that you have a personal brand. Interesting. Okay, you guys are all very humble and I appreciate you for that. But you're also very wrong. You already have a personal brand, whether you realize it or not. And I'll tell you why, okay? Let me break down myth number one, that I don't have a personal brand. You do. Because if you go back to your childhood, you might have noticed that As a kid, you would have been known by a certain nickname among your relatives, right? Or like Shreya, she's a singer, or Asha, she's a singer, or people might have told you that, oh, you're the Shreya Ghoshal of the family, or the Beyonce of the family. And in your school and in your college, you might even have picked up some weird names, right? Which your friends, even now, they might be calling you by those names. Why do you think that is? Like, how did these names come to you, right? Because people relate to you based on something you did, something you said, etc., etc. So even if you think you do not have a personal brand, it doesn't matter. You have a personal brand, and your personal brand is not about yourself. It's really not about what you think about yourself. So then that begs the question, what is your personal brand? Well, your personal brand is your perception among others based on your experience, your expertise, your competencies, your actions, your achievements within your community, your industry, your school, your workplace, etc., etc. What's crucial for you to understand here is that your personal brand is the perception that others have of you, not that you have of yourself. Like, you can think you're an amazing project manager, but if others do not think that of you, it doesn't matter. Your personal brand is wrong. You have to really work on that brand a bit. And by extension of this perception, it also means that your personal brand is your reputation, right? Because if you get it right, you will enjoy progress, growth, opportunities. But if you get it wrong, then people may not even want to associate with you. Okay. So at this point, I know a lot of you are thinking, okay, Nitin, I get it, but enough of the gyan and the philosophy. But tell me what I can do. All right. How should I start building my personal brand? Okay. Let's dive in. We're going to look at where we can start right now. And the first place for you to start is, what do I want to be known for, right? What is that one word? Think about this, but don't think too hard. Just quickly tell me in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and tell me, what do you want to be known for? Do you want to be known as an engineer? Do you want to be known as a CEO, as a founder, as an innovator, as a technology person? All right, I'm waiting for your answers. Please let me in the chat box. Like, off the top, all of you have aspirations. Don't tell me you don't. A lot of you said that you're students. So tell me, what do you want to be known for as you start working? I'm gonna have a little bit of chai until then. Finance officer. All right, Deshvi, thank you for that. Guys, remember, like Shubhanga said, those of you who interact the most and engage the most, you guys will be recognized and rewarded at the end of the session. So please do engage. Best interior designer. All right. Okay. Professionalist. Nandini. Okay. But at what? Do you have a specific domain? Marketing expert. Manisha. I like that. Okay. We're in the same domain. I can relate to that. CEO and founder both. Anand Kumar. Okay. Amazing, amazing. A good human, because at the end, that's what matters. Piyush, hats off to you. I respect that. CMO, Chief Marketing Officer. Lovely. All right. Amazing. So, why is this important, guys? Why is it important for you to know what it is that you want, right? Having respect and good confidence. Yeah, yeah, true. Like, these are the perceptions, right? Respect and confidence come from the perception that others have of you. But why is it important for you to know what you want to be known for, or where you want to go? Because as the great elder and the philosopher Seneca said, to the man who does not know where he wants to go, there is no favorable wind. It simply means that if you have no direction, if you have no goal, if you do not know what you want to be known for, then whatever opportunity comes your way, it doesn't matter, because you don't know what it is that you want. Now, as you're going about building your personal brand, there are some misconceptions that people have, and I get this all the time. Few of the common misconceptions that I hear all the time are, I'm not a celebrity. Personal branding seems a lot like I'm attention seeking. I'm not an attention seeking person, or I'm not perfect. Maybe I'll start thinking about my personal brand once I become perfect. Do you guys have any of these fears? Does any of this relate to you? Do you have any other fears or any other wrong ideas around personal branding? Imposter syndrome, maybe, right? No? Okay, that's good. See, all of this are wrong. You do not have to be a celebrity or an influencer to be building your personal brand. You just have to be authentic. What you need is authenticity. It's not about seeking attention. It's about the authentic expression of yourself. And nobody's perfect. You do not have to be perfect to build a personal brand. You just have to connect with the right audience. So I've got a question for you now. What defines your personal brand? Or what do you think makes a personal brand? Is it your name? Is it your title? Is it the school that you study in? Is it the company that you work for? What makes a personal brand? What do you guys think? Like, I want your answers. Like, what do you think makes a personal brand? My name, okay. Your personal brand is your name. Well, you're not entirely wrong, but you're not right either. Launching ourselves, that also doesn't make a personal brand. Work we are doing and recognized by, Rishita, you're somewhere along the correct direction here. Recognition, yes. Okay, okay. You guys are sort of arriving at the right conclusions now. Uniqueness, if you can prove it in people. Right, right, right. Exactly, right. It's not your name, it's not your title, it's not your job role, it's not the company you work for. Because if you change your name tomorrow, does that change who you are as a person? If you get fired from your company tomorrow, does it do you stop being who you are? No, you don't, right? So in order to explain what a personal brand is all about, we are going to do a quick fun activity. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a picture of an object, but it will disappear very quickly. So I want you guys to pay attention. All right, pay close attention. Do not be distracted. Don't be doing something else. Don't be texting your friend right now. It'll disappear very quickly. And I want you guys to tell me the name of that object. Got it? Right? Everyone ready? Thumbs up if you're ready. Because the object will come, it'll disappear. Okay, all right, you guys are ready. All right, let's go. Did you see it? Did you guys get to see it? All right, I'll show you again. Can you tell me the name of this object? JCB, JCB, crane, JCB, truck. Well, it's not a truck. JCB, 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 excavator. Crane. It's not a crane. All right, all right, all right, all right. I think you guys have paid a lot of attention. I love your attention spans and like very perceptive people. To all of you who said JCB, you guys are not wrong. But JCB is the name of the company that builds the bulldozer, right? I think Piyush said bulldozer. The name of the object is a bulldozer, and the name of the company that builds the bulldozer is JCB. So do you see what's happened here, right? Okay, let's go for another example, right? I'll give you another chance. Round two. Let's try this again. Did you guys see the picture? Can you name the object? Azhar. All right, Azhar, you also said bulldozer. My apologies. Printer, 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 printer. Okay, I think you guys got the drill. Laser printer. Yeah, printer. It's a photocopier machine and a printer. You're not wrong. But a lot of us would have at least thought Xerox, right? And I used to think that that was a Xerox machine. But the reality is, it's not a Xerox machine. It's a photocopier. It's a photocopy machine, right? Xerox is the name of the company that builds this machine. So what did we learn from both these examples? A name becomes a brand when it becomes so engraved in people's daily life, when it adds so much value that the object itself disappears and people start substituting it with the brand name. People don't call a bulldozer anymore. People say JCB. Oh, JCB is coming this way, right? No, a JCB is not coming this way. It's a bulldozer that's coming this way. And that is not a Xerox machine. It's a photocopier machine. So are you getting a sense of what I'm trying to say here? Right? So what this proves is that just like how a corporate brand does something right, your personal brand also has to do something right. It needs to get some things correct. But what is it about, right? What makes your personal brand resonate with people? First, it's about how you make people feel, because people will forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Take your own example. Like, how likely are you to go and talk to someone again if you had a good time with them, if you enjoyed being in their company? Yes, again, for sure. It's the experience that you create, right? People relate to the emotional connection they have with a thing, an object, or even a person. So ensure that you create this experience for for your people. When you're building your brand, it's your reputation. It's like we said earlier, right? What are people saying about you in front of you, but also more importantly, what are they saying about you behind you? It's your promise. It's the unwritten contract. It's like, are you going to do exactly as you say? If not, then your promise means nothing. So your personal brand is a lot about the promise that you say, the promise that you make. It's your story. How would you narrate who you are? Because everybody has a different story. Everybody has a different way of narrating. You need to find a unique way of putting your unique story across to someone in a way that makes it meaningful, exciting to engage with. It's your values. What do you stand for? What are the principles that drive your life? It's how you communicate, not just verbally, but the non-verbal communication too, your body language. It's your differentiation. What makes you stand out? And if you're thinking, oh no, nothing makes me stand out, you're wrong. Everybody in this world is unique. Everybody in this world stands out. Me and Shubhankar are not the same. So there is something unique about me, and there's something unique about him. He is standing out from me. Your job is to identify what makes you unique and to showcase that differentiation, so you help others, or you tell others how or what sets you apart. And most importantly, it's how you show up. And when I mean show up, I'm not just talking about, you showing up in time for work or in time for school, but how you show up in general. How do you dress when you go for a job? How do you dress when you go to school? How do you dress when you're out with friends? Do you pay attention to the kind of dresses you wear? Do you pay attention to the perfume that you wear? Or do you just like pick anything that somebody else suggested and use it? Are you crafting every element of your life to suit you, to customize it to your need, right? You see the shirts that I wear, I no longer wear ready-made shirts. I get tailor-made shirts because I realize they fit me better. They make me feel more confident. They make me look confident. And obviously, when you look confident, people will start appreciating you for it. So make sure that you pay attention to these minute aspects of your life. All right. So now I want to tell you about the three dimensions of your personal brand that add value to people, right? Okay. So it's the reliability that you bring into your personal brand. It's the functionality that you bring into your personal brand, and it's the emotional connection that you're able to establish with others. These three things are what create value for others and in turn value for your personal brand. Now, the other side of the same coin are the three dimensions of how people experience your brand, your personal brand, right? So people experience your personal brand based on the visual element, the verbal element, and the behavioral element. We always say don't judge a book by its cover, but I assure you, people are judging you by how you look or by how they see you. So make sure you show up in life in a way that, makes you, or in a way that at least gives the right brand impression that you want to create. How you talk to a large extent also determines your brand experience. And then, of course, lastly, your behavior. Yeah, here I want to give you a quick tip. If any of you are not really confident about speaking fluently, or if you're not confident about how you can speak elegantly, here's a quick tip. I want you to take a pen or a pencil, keep it in your tongue, keep it in your mouth above the tongue, like this, and try to read one page of a book or try to read a few lines from a book. You will not get it right, of course, right? But if you do this every day, 1 minute every day for 30 days, I can assure you the way you talk will be so much more better. You'll speak more fluently and more elegantly. All right. So, again, at this point, I've told you a lot of the fundamentals, but I still haven't told you how you can start building your own personal brand. Right. But before I do, I just want to quickly ask you, are you guys with me so far? Does everything make sense? Right. If you guys are with me so far, give me a thumbs up or type makes sense. Thumbs up. Okay, Tisha, thank you. Makes sense. Soumya, thank you. All right. Rishita, thank you. All right. Great. I'm glad it's making sense. Sunita, thank you. Manisha, thank you. All right. So let's proceed. Cool. Now we're going to look at what you should consider when you're creating your brand statement. And this is important because your brand statement is going to define your personal brand. So we need to get this right, right? And I'm going to tell you how to present your brand to the world, how to craft an amazing brand narrative for yourself. But we're going to do a little fun exercise first. And I want to ask you guys, anyone wants to volunteer? Does anyone want to volunteer for this fun activity? Any bold, courageous person who wants to volunteer for this? Anand, you want to volunteer? All right, Anand. Let's give a round of applause to Anand and his courage. Anand, you can unmute yourself, and I want you to quickly tell me what it is that you do.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Anand, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Anand. So tell me, what do you do? Are you a student? Are you working?
I am a student.
Okay, and what do you study?
I am pursuing MBA at Narayana Business School, Ahmedabad.
You're pursuing your MBA. Okay, Anand, what is your unique skill? What's your unique talent? What's something that you're really good at?
Mm,
Are you good at making Canva presentations? Are you good at
yes, sir.
project management?
प्रेजेंटेशन में
Sorry,
प्रेजेंटेशन में भी अच्छा हूँ और एक्सेल और रिपोर्ट मेकिंग अच्छा है.
report making. Okay, you're good with numbers. You're good at Excel. All
Yes.
right. You're so basically data analysis. I could say is your core competency. It's your skill, right?
Yes, sir.
Data. All right. Okay. Now, we're going to do an example with Anand, but I also want you guys to do this, with me. I want you to imagine that you're at a dinner or a party and your friend has invited you, right? Your friend is the host and you do
Yes,
not
sir.
know anyone at this setting other than your host who invited you.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
The host is going to introduce you to the gathering. It's he's going to he or she is going to introduce you to everyone in the group. I want you to think about how you want your friend to introduce you to others. Now, Anand is my friend. I invited Anand to a dinner. So I'm going to introduce Anand to all of you, right? So I'm like, hey everyone, I want you guys to meet Anand. Anand is known for his data analytics skill. He's amazing with presentation. He's amazing with Excel. And if you've got any data crunching tasks that you want help with, Anand is the one that you should talk to. That is how I would introduce Anand, right? Obviously, I don't know Anand that well, but if I knew him a little bit better, I would introduce more aspects of him. So I want you guys to think about this. I want you to use this as an example. And right now, I don't want you to think too much. I just want you to fill in this template, right? I want you to fill in this template with your name. I want you to fill in this template with your skill. I want you to fill in what you've achieved and your area of expertise and just share it in the chat. Asad, I see you've raised your hand. Do you have a question? We'll take it towards the end. I'll give you 1 minute. Let's quickly do this. I think the first person to do this will get a special personal branding gift from my side. So I want you guys to look at this, whatever is there on the screen, and simply fill in the details wherever, whichever is highlighted in yellow, and I want you to paste it back in the chat. All right, and the first person to do this gets one unique personal branding gift from me. Shubhankar, can we make sure that the first person with the answer gets this gift?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. 20 more seconds, guys. 20 more seconds. Anand, I see that you've written something, but it's not in the format that I have shown. I want you to give it to me in the format that I've shown on the screen. It's a proper introduction. Okay, Manisha said, "Hi John, this is Manisha. She is known for her dynamic marketing skills. She has accomplished various marketing projects. If you want to talk about anything related to marketing, you can talk to her." All right. Okay, great, Manisha. Round of applause to you. I appreciate that. And you will be getting this personal branding. Small gift from my side. And guys, to all of you who are still thinking about it or writing about this, please take some time. You can take a screenshot of this if you want, and think about how you want someone else to introduce you. This will be the foundation of how you're going to be crafting your own brand statement, right? And that's what we're going to look at next. When you start creating your brand statement, when you start creating your brand story, you need to consider these following aspects. You need to consider your why. Like, why are you doing what you're doing? Is it because you're passionate about it? Or is it because you think everyone is doing it? What is your unique selling point? USP, or you can say UVP, unique value proposition. What are the offers or the skills that you have? What are the credibility, right? I mean, I say credibility, it can be certification, it can be recognitions, it can be accomplishments from certain someone, it can be awards that you've gained. So your credibility that shows that you're proficient at whatever it is that you're doing. And finally, your CTA. Your CTA is like a call to action, right? Which invites others, prospective customers, prospective employers, prospective companies where you want to apply for a job to consider you for that position, right? So what does a brand statement look like? I'll give you an example. This is my brand statement. This is what I would write for myself. This is what I would show to others, right? So I'm Nathan George. I'm a strategic marketing and branding guy. And what do? I empower individuals with the skills and the knowledge to market their brand. And my CTA is simple, like you bring the desire and the to learn, and I will give you the knowledge. It's a simple but effective brand statement. I want you guys to take a minute and think about this. Maybe write your own brand statement. This time I will give you 2 minutes to write this, and I want you to share it in the chat. I think it's a given that there is going to be some sort of a reward at the end. So let's see who gets this right first. And Tisha, thank you for sharing that. I recognize the wonderful job you've done here. And it's good to know that you're an accomplished HR person. Does anyone have any doubt on this? If yes, you can ask me. But I want you guys to understand what the importance of this is. I guess no one has a doubt. All right then. 1 minute, 15 seconds remaining. You want to see the previous slide, but the previous slide doesn't have any information there. I can show you. This is how you should write your story. It should contain your why, it should contain your USP, it should contain your skills or your offers, your credibility, and your CTA. And you can take a screenshot of this if you like, guys, because it's something that you can always refer back to when you go about building your brand statement. And also think about, where do you think you can use this brand statement, right? Any ideas? Where do you think you can use this? No, sir, the blank one. Oh, this one. Yeah. Okay. Please take a screenshot of this so I can move on to the next slide. All right. Done. Could you please repeat CTA? All right. So, CTA, Dr. Anita, is your call to action, right? It's not always necessary, but if you are applying for something, or if you are inviting something to be or someone to be your customer or to be your partner in a certain project, your CTA, your call to action, should talk about why they should consider you, right? In a job application, your CTA is what makes you proficient for that job and why the company should consider you. So your call to action is always about how what makes you right for that job. It should inspire the other person to consider you, to be a partner, to be a co-founder, to be an employee at the company. Does that make sense? Okay, I guess we have another person who's sent in the answers first. I am Manisha, a passionate and result driven marketing expert with a knack for crafting innovative strategies that drive brand growth and customer engagement. Okay, Manisha, this sounds a lot like me. This is sort of similar to my my brand statement on LinkedIn, but I like it. With a deep understanding of market trends and consumer behavior, I specialize in creating impactful campaigns that resonate with audience, and I thrive on collaboration, creativity, and turning challenges into opportunities for success. Okay. Manisha, you missed the CTA though, but lovely, lovely brand statement. You might think about how to incorporate a CTA in there as well. And Manisha, since you were the person who gave the last answer also the first time, I think we'll wait for someone else. You already get a reward anyway, so I think we'll give another person a chance. All right, time's up, guys. Arthi, okay. Hi, I'm Arthi, experienced educator and mentor with 5+ years of teaching experience. I inspire and empower students to reach their full potential, transforming minds through education. Lovely, Arthi. You missed the CTA though. Like, just make sure you include the CTA there, because that's like, why would I now work with you, right? What's the call to action? Pooja, I'm okay. Oh, you guys are sharing a lot. Okay, okay, John. All right. Oh, that's a lot, guys. Okay. I'm going to read through all of this later. I'm not going to read all of them now because I think we still have a lot of slides to cover, and they're very important slides. But thank you for your participation. I'll look into these, and whoever has written their brand statement with all the points that I've mentioned, there's something waiting for them. Absolutely. Okay, let's move on. Now, I love how you guys are thinking about your brand. I love that you guys know so much about what makes you unique and your skills and everything. But I want you to dive in a little bit deeper. I want you to really nail down on every aspect and every dimension of your brand. And to help you do this, I've created a personal branding blueprint, right? So in this workbook, it considers your personal appeal, it considers your professional outlook, it really dives down into your statement, your emotional expression, your physical expression, your dress code, your social expression, right? This workbook is designed to help you think, and I really want you to think about it. So if I give this to you, if I give you this workbook, do you guys promise that you will do this and you will complete this exercise? Not right now, you can do it in your own time. It will take you at least 2 days. So maybe over this weekend, you can sit down and work on it. If I give this to you, will you guys work on your brand, your personal brand? Yes. All right, lovely. One person said yes. I think I'll only give it to Rishita then. Oh, okay, Anita and Manisha. All right, Anand, Dara Patel. All right, thank you. Lovely. I'm so inspired when I see people who are genuinely excited about their personal brand, right? It inspires me also to do a better job. So here's the thing. I'm going to share the link to this personal branding blueprint in the comments section. I mean, in the chat. I want you guys to click on it. You can save this link. Basically, the link will take you to a Google worksheet. You need to make a copy of this. You won't be able to edit it directly. But once you make a copy of it, you can input it with your own details. So save this link and get to it later on. All right. Cool. So let's continue. And we're sort of there, but we're not there yet. And we've reached the summary section, right? We're gonna wrap it up now. And in this section, I'm gonna show you some actionable and sustainable steps, actions, strategies that you can start using right away to create a powerful personal brand. All right. And the first thing that I want you to remember is that if you can measure something, you can manage that thing. And what you cannot measure, you cannot manage. Have you ever heard people say, oh, this task is so complicated, I cannot manage it, right? What they're actually saying is, I cannot measure it, or I do not know how to measure it. Because once you can measure it, you can break it down. You can break it down into things that needed to be done today, things that needed to be done this week, things that needed to be done this month, this year, and so on. So whatever you can measure, you can manage. And this is something that I want you to think about. And if you're curious, but how do I measure my personal brand? Right? Your personal brand is, it's kind of very vague, right? How does one measure their personal brand? Does anyone know how you can measure your personal brand? If you know, tell me in the chat box. You can unmute yourself and give me the answer if you know. But do you know how you can measure your personal brand, or how you can measure the impact of your personal brand? Does anyone know the answer? Asad, you've raised your hand. I can see that your hand is raised. Do you have a question, or do you have the answer? Okay, I can see around 70 people in the room. Does anyone know the answer to this question? How do you measure your personal brand? By our aura, name, fame? Kind of. Number of followers? No, not really. Perception? Yeah, but how do you measure perception? Networking? Dara Patel? Yes, but how do you measure networking? By number of followers? No, it's not the number of followers, believe me. Professional recognition? Okay. You guys are there, but I think maybe you're not familiar with the right term for it, right? You measure your brand by the visibility or the accessibility that your brand has. What feedback is, yes, Deshvi, you're right. Feedback is one of the elements of brand measurability. But let's look at the most prominent one, and it's called visibility or the accessibility. If somebody Googles your name, what will they find? You know what? In fact, you can Google your name right now, like Google your name, right? Piyush Tharwadi, you can just Google it and see what comes up. Right, Manisha, you can Google it. Dr. Anita B, Google Dr. Anita B and see what comes up. If your name does not come up in the first 3 results, then you need to really think about what you can do so you can bring your name up there. And I'll tell you about some of the things that you can do to ensure that your name shows up on top, right? It's easy. It will take you 6 months, maybe, or less than 6 months, depending upon your consistency. But in 6 months, you can have your name in the top 3 ranking on Google. Are you guys ready to know how to measure your brand? All right. So, like I said, you will be Googled. So make sure you show up the way you want, and I'll tell you how you can show up the way you want. And lastly, I want you to remember that the best time to build a brand was 10 years ago. And the next best time to build a brand, that's today. Why do I say the best time to build a brand was 10 years ago? Well, because the longer you have been building your brand, the more time you give the power of compounding to do its work, right? Warren Buffett, right? One of the richest men in the world. Warren started investing when he was just 10 years old. Sorry, does anyone have a question? Shubhankar, I hear some sound. Is someone talking?
क्यों नहीं बना पाए? जब ब्रेड पकौड़ा बना सकते हैं तो कटलेट बनाने में क्या दिक्कत है?
Okay, can we mute the person, please? Shubhankar, are you there?
Soumya, your mic is unmuted, so can you please mute your mic?
All right, thank you guys. All right. So Warren Buffett, he started investing, like seriously investing when he was just 10 years old. But do you know that 97% of his current wealth came only after he turned 60. So for the first 50 years of his life, he only had 3% of the total wealth that he had right now. What is the secret behind it? The secret is nothing but compounding, right? This investments that he continued making consistently over 50 years. After he turned 60, all of them suddenly, the power of compounding worked and they multiplied immensely. And your personal brand is very similar. If you had started 10 years ago, can you imagine where you would have been today? You would have had all the metrics necessary for you to be a thought leader on LinkedIn. Perhaps you could even have had an influencer tag on LinkedIn. And that's the power of compounding. So it's okay if you could not start 10 years ago. It's okay if you're only 20 and 10 years ago you were 10. That's fine. You can start today, right? And over the next 10 years, you can really build your personal brand. Remember your personal brand. When you're building your personal brand, do not think about today. I want you to think about 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead. Think about it with the example that if one day you were to appear in the Forbes magazine, let's imagine that one day, 5 years later, 10 years later, Forbes magazine is featuring you on the cover page. What will you want the magazine's cover page to say about you? Right? This is a visual exercise. And in the sheet, in the link that I've shared, there is an editable link to this image. I really want you guys to like edit this image, change the image of the anonymous man with a picture of yourself, and underneath you can write whatever you want the magazine to say about yourself. Visualize it, and who knows, in 10 years you might actually be featured on Forbes. So think always in the long term strategy of how you can build your brand. Now we're almost coming to the end, and I want to give you some actionable proven hacks that you can use right away to really solidify and create this powerful personal brand. The first thing is podcasting. Podcasting as an industry, as a segment, is just booming in India right now. In the Western countries like Europe and America, this has already been there for the last 10 years and it's quite a saturated market. But in India, this trend is just picking up. It's slowly picking up. So imagine if you start a podcast today and every week you add one episode, right? In 1 year, that gives you 52 episodes. In 2 years, that gives you 100 plus episodes. And in the next 5 years, you will have around 530 episodes. And by that time, you're already way ahead of the rest. And there's statistics that shows, right? The average podcaster, the average person who starts a podcast, he or she stops after 7 episodes. 7 episodes is the average duration, average life of a podcast. So if you want to be in the top 10 percentile, all you have to do is do more than 7 episodes. That's the bare minimum that's required for you to build a personal brand. But sadly, that also shows that people are not even putting in the bare minimum, right? Podcasting is something that you can start right away. And if you're curious or if you don't know how to go about making your own podcast, don't worry. I've got a lot of free tips and insights. You can just visit my website, nidhingeorge.com. And there are a lot of tactics on how you can go about creating and starting your own podcast. The next actionable thing that you can do is your LinkedIn. You need to really build your LinkedIn profile because you are going to be searched. Everybody is going to look you up on LinkedIn. Believe me, in the last couple of months, I've been doing a lot of these sessions and workshops. Every day I have like 500 people visiting my profile. So people are going to look you up. And when they look you up, what are they going to see, right? When they look you up, are they going to see can you see my LinkedIn profile, guys? Can you see my screen where I'm sharing my LinkedIn profile? Give me a thumbs up if you can see my LinkedIn. Yeah, okay. So when they visit your LinkedIn profile, what are they going to see? Are they going to see a blank profile, no picture, some random thing? Or are they going to see a well-curated profile, right? Look at the LinkedIn profiles of people that you admire, people in the industry who you like, and try to copy them. Copy them in this. Don't copy paste what they're writing. That would be really bad. But look up to them for inspiration. Like, see how they've presented their profile. Go through their profile. See how they've curated their profile. What are they displaying on their profile? Because all of this is eventually going to help you build a personal brand, right? Invest in mentors because nobody can do this alone. And believe me, it's way more easier for you to fast track your learning, fast track your career if you learn it from somebody who's already done it. Your classroom education in college is not the only thing. I mean, it can only get you so far. It's more impactful when you learn the trade from the professionals. Next, I want you to observe, follow and observe these thought leaders who inspire you on LinkedIn, on Instagram, wherever, right? Look at what they're doing. You can learn from their successes and you can learn from their failures. The next thing I want you to do is to start sharing. Each and every one of you has something that you are good at, a skill. It can be knowledge, it can be I don't know, something as simple as you might be good at playing an instrument. Do you know how many people are out there who want to learn to play that instrument? So, regardless of what skill you have, what knowledge you have, you're good at something. Identify what you're good at and start writing about it, start talking about it, start making videos about it, start doing whatever it takes and share your knowledge with the world because people will see you and start relating to you as a thought leader, as an expert in that field. If you don't share what you're good at, how will I know? How will anyone know? Then participate, right? Participate in industry events. If you're a college student, try to identify these seminars, these conferences that happen that are relevant to the fields that you're interested in. Attend them. Maybe if they're a little bit expensive, you could ask your college to sponsor your class. I'm not sure if they'll agree, but it's worth a try. Innovate. That's the next thing I want you to do. I want you to stop doing what everyone is doing and try something different. How many of you here have created a resume, a CV? This is a question to all of you in college, right? How many of you have created a CV that you've given at the time of hiring? Chubankar, yes. Rishita, yes. I'm sure a lot of you have, right? And how does your CV look? Do you open a Google Word and type out, copy paste the format from your friend? Have any of you thought about creating a video CV? Have any of you thought about creating a video resume? No. Why? Don't you think it would be much more impactful and powerful? You can have a traditional and conventional resume, of course, but at the end of it, you can give a link and say, hey, to know more about me, watch this video. I've created a video CV, and I've used that to get accepted at some of the jobs that I wanted. You can visit my website and get a sense of what that is like, and it's unique. Nobody's doing it in a class of maybe 50 people, or let's say you want to apply at a company. They receive thousands of applications, but how many applications do you think come in with a video CV? 2, maximum 3. So you're already in the top 3 of that list just because you did something different, right? So innovate. Network. Take every opportunity that you get to connect with people. Every connection that you create gives something new to learn, and that learning is essential, right? And these connections eventually at some point of time become, maybe refer you to a job, maybe refer you to a position. Why do you think I am here today doing this session in front of you? It's because I've built a network. Somebody from SEMS reached out to me. They realized that, okay, I could be the right person to talk about personal branding, and which is why I'm here. So build your network. And when I talk about building your network, I want to give you guys one quick tip. Guys, when you're building your network on LinkedIn, and I'm telling you this because I get this all the time, do not send connection requests to random people. And if you are sending a connection request to someone who does not know you, it's always good to add a note. LinkedIn gives you the option of adding a note when you're connecting with someone outside of your network. And this is important because this is one way to stand out. Everybody sending connection requests without a note. But if you can send a connection request to someone that you want to connect with, but add a note and say, hey, I'm so and so, I'm reaching out to you because, I don't know, I found your content very insightful, or I've met you at this conference where you were talking and I wanted to connect. That makes all the difference. It instantly makes you stand out, but also it makes you look more aware and conscious of what you're doing rather than just randomly. This is not a Instagram where you send friends requests to anyone, right? Connect mindfully and connect elegantly. Next thing, take risks. Don't let the fear of failure stop you from exploring opportunities or trying to innovate. Keep learning. And here I want to give you a pearl of wisdom that my mentor told me. When you're in a room with other people, always assume that you're the idiot. What my mentor was trying to tell me is, always assume that you have something to learn from others. Always assume that everybody else has some lesson that they can give you. Keep an open mind to learning. Next one is to collaborate, right? In school, I had this one friend who would not help anyone else, who would not explain anything to any other student, because she thought that if she told this to other people, they would also learn and they would get more marks than her. Anybody faced a situation like that? Thumbs up, say yes. Nobody? Okay, you've all had, yes, you've all had, the rest of you have had amazing schoolmates. That's good. But this is not true, okay? In your professional life, in building a personal brand, you need to collaborate with other people. That's the only way to extend your network. Now imagine, let's say for those of you who are in college, right? Let's say you reach out to your friend and you guys do a LinkedIn live together. Both of you come on LinkedIn and talk about a particular topic. What are you doing actually? You are bringing in the network of person A and the network of person B, and both of you get access to each other's network. You see that collaboration is actually helping you improve your reach, and it's very important to collaborate with people. And lastly, observe and follow thought leaders, influencers that you admire, that you look up to, and see what they're doing. Right, this is one of the most amazing ways in which you can build a personal brand. All right, that brings us to the end of the presentation, and I think we may have gone over time, so I'm not really sure if we have time for a Q&A. But Shubhankar, how are we with time? Do you have any questions?
On behalf of organizing committee, I'd like to express my hearty vote of thanks to our excellent speaker, Nitin George sir. Today we got the opportunity to interesting and thought-provoking discussion on leveraging personal branding for continued growth. The amount of expertise and passion that really enhance our grasp of leveraging personal branding for continued growth. He skillfully imparted his knowledge, leaving us with insightful conclusions and motivational concepts. His insights caught our attention and motivated us to learn more. We appreciate the effort they put in preparing our enlightening session. So once again, I express my gratitude and thanks to Prakash for sparing time from his hectic schedule to impart information to us. We are speechless by your invaluable presence at this session. You provided in-depth analysis of the subjects and shared some. We shall abide by time for such workshop in order to advance both our personal and collective knowledge.